section that you represent. That's it.
Laid by Dr. P.G. Halakatti, visionary leaders such as Sri Sangana Basaveshwara Mahashiva Yogigalu of Bantanal, Sri B.M. Patil, and Sri M.B. Patil have nurtured and expanded BLDEA over the years. BLDEA's chief goal is to meet the professional and general education needs of the people of the North Karnataka region. BLDEA has under its umbrella more than 75 institutions located in Vijayapura and Bagalkot districts. The institutions run by BLDEA include primary and secondary schools, public schools, high schools, EU colleges, autonomous arts, science, and commerce degree colleges, and professional institutions such as colleges of education, Ayurveda Mahavidyalaya, law college, engineering college, medical college, business schools, pharmacy college, nursing college, and BLDE University. All BLDEA institutions offer education to students without making any discrimination based on a caste, sect, religion, and creed. Over the last 100 years, engineering education has witnessed significant shifts, evolved to include a large number of specialities, and seen its goals constantly being redefined. The importance of different skills such as design, analytics, and modeling in the context of a particular discipline is continuously debated. A right engineering college understands these changing shifts and offers an industry-oriented education. BLDEA's Vachana Pitamaha Dr. P.G. Halakatti College of Engineering and Technology, Vijayapura, is one of the few engineering colleges in the state that have successfully incorporated industry-oriented education in their engineering programs. Established as BLDEA's College of Engineering in 1980 to address the need for quality technical education, it was renamed in 1995 after Dr. P.G. Halakatti, the founder of BLDEA. The campus is spread over an area of 14.9 acres of verdant greenery. It has state-of-the-art infrastructure, including technology-enabled teaching aids and equipment. The college is recognized by the Government of Karnataka, approved by AICTE New Delhi, and affiliated to VTU Belagavi. The departments of Mechanical Engineering, Computer Science Engineering, Civil Engineering, and Electrical and Electronics Engineering are NBA accredited. The institute is NAAC accredited and certified by ISO 9001-2015. The college has collaborations with Porto University, Portugal, Lublin University of Technology, Poland, Swansea University, UK, Myanmar Institute of Information Technology, Myanmar, and many other universities at the national and international levels. The college offers undergraduate courses in architecture, automobile engineering, civil engineering, computer science and engineering, electrical and electronics engineering, electronics and communications engineering, information engineering, and mechanical engineering. The college has introduced 2 new undergraduate engineering courses, which are in high demand today. BE in Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning, BE in Instrumentation Engineering. The PG courses offered by the college are MTech programs in Computer Science and Engineering, Digital Communication and Networking, Machine Design, Microelectronics and Control Systems, and Structural Engineering. The college also offers MBA and MCA. MTech in Environmental Engineering is the new course introduced at the PG level. This course too offers attractive career options. Several value-added courses such as Ready Engineer Certification of Tata Technology NPTEL online certification courses of the Ministry of Human Resource Department, AIML or Data Analytics, IoT courses, communication courses, and student-centric specific job-oriented training are conducted by the Institute. The college houses NAIM, New Age Incubation Network, K-BITS Incubation Center, Entrepreneurship Development Cell, and Centers of Excellence. The college has nearly 200 qualified and experienced faculty members, which include 13 professors. 31 faculty members hold PhD, and 50 are pursuing PhD. 5 departments recognized as research centers by VTU Belagavi are now facilitating the candidates to pursue their doctoral programs. During the last 5 years, over 150 research publications have been indexed in the Scopus citation database with an H index of 12. About 2 crore rupees of research funding has been received from various funding agencies. The library is well stocked and has a seating capacity for 450 users. The open reading hall has a seating capacity for 100 users. There is a modern and well-equipped digital library too. The library building has a seminar hall with a capacity of 200 persons. The playground is big with facilities for a wide range of sport activities. The students have earned 14 University Blues and 2 state-level awards. Top priorities given for cultural activities. Twelve national-level prizes have been won in cultural competitions. The college was awarded Excellent Contribution in Education during the 2nd Karnataka Education Summit and Awards 2016 by VTU, NSIC, and AICTE. AICTE has appreciated the Institute for Suvarna Adarsh Gram Yojana in 2017. The college has hosted an exhibition by NAL and ISRO. The college is working on various community-based activities. It has made a remarkable contribution to the tank filling projects in Karnataka and has sensitized farmers on the importance of water and soil conservation and use of new tools for productive farming. The college provides consultancy in the field of civil, mechanical, electrical fields to the surrounding industries and government offices. Over the years, many reputed personalities have visited the college. The college has a strong network of prominent alumni, which is a testimony to the success of the institution. The placement cell too is playing a very proactive role. As a result, every year, a large number of our students are recruited by Fortune 500 companies. Thus, the Institute's all-round activities, industry-oriented approach, and unmatched reputation give it a distinct edge and make it an ideal choice for students across the state for engineering education.
Thank you, Pradeep Deshpande and his team for the wonderful detailing of our BLDEA CET. Thank you, sir. I am Anuradha Tangsali from Department of Civil Engineering. On behalf of BLDEA Association, I would like to welcome Mr. Maru Katsumasa, Deputy Consul General, Consulate of Japan, Bangalore, India. Mr. Colvin Udina, Advisor to the Consulate of Japan, Bangalore. Dr. Shri M.B. Patil, Honorable President of BLDE Association, former Irrigation Minister of Government of Karnataka. Shri B.M. Patil, Director of BLDE Association. Dr. Mahantesh Biradar, Public Relations Officer of BLDE Association. Other dignitaries, representatives, staff, and students of BLDE Association. Thank you, sir. Thank you for escorting the guests to the dais. Flowers are the symbol of love, affection, and respect. I request our Honorable President, Dr. Shri M.B. Patil, to present a bouquet to Mr. Maru Katsubasa. Please, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. I request our principal, Dr. Atul Aire, to present a bouquet to Dr. Shri M.B. Patil. Please, sir. Thank you, sir. I request Dr. Geetanjali Patil, Vice Principal, Administration, to present a bouquet to Shri B.M. Patil. Thank you, ma'am. I request Dr. P.V. Malji, Vice Principal, Academic and Research, to present a bouquet to Dr. Atul Aire. Please, sir. Thank you, sir. I request Dr. Asif Momin, Chief Academic Coordinator, to present a bouquet to Dr. Mahantesh Biradar. Thank you, sir. I request Mr. Prashant Patil, Program Coordinator, to present a bouquet to Dr. R.V. Kulkarni. Please, sir. Thank you, sir. We all know that God is omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient. Hence, let us acknowledge His presence and guidance through prayer. I request Mr. Sri Hari Kulkarni to present shloka and prayer. Please, Sri Hari.
Hello. Gajananam Bhutaganadisevitam Kavittajambo Falasarabhakshitam Umasutam Shoka Vinashakaranam Namami Vigneshwara Pala Pankajam Pahi Pahi Gajanana Parvati Nandana Gajanana Pahi Pahi Gajanana Parvati पार्वती नंदन गजानना एकदंत गजानना अनेकदाता गजानना पाहि पाहि गजानना पार्वती नंदन गजानना लंबोदर है गजानना लंब उरगधर गजानना लंबोदर है गजानना लंब उरगधर गजानना सूक्ष्म रूप गजानना सूक्ष्म रूप गजानना बोधन चतुर गजानना पाहि पाहि गजानना पार्वती नंदन गजानना योग समुद्र गजानना समाधिपाल गजानना योग समुद्र गजानना समाधिपाल गजानना सच्चिदानंद गजानना सच्चिदानंद गजानना नित्यानंद गजानना पाहि पाहि गजानना पार्वती नंदन गजानना पार्वती नंदन गजानना पार्वती नंदन गजानना थैंक यू
Thank you, Sri Hari. Thank you, Sri Hari, for the wholehearted rendition of prayer to Gajanana, removal of obstacles. Thank you. Dipa Jyoti Parabrahma, Dipas Sarvato Mapaha, Deepena Adyata Sarvam, Sandhya Deepe Namostute. It means that it is the light of a lamp that pervades all existence. A lamp removes all darkness. It is by a lamp that one can achieve everything. O lamp that denotes transition, I bow down to you. I request all the dignitaries to light the lamp. Please, sir. I request everybody to give a standing vote. Thank you. Please be seated. Thank you. I request our principal, Dr. Atul Aire, to welcome the gathering. Please, sir.
Konnichiwa, Marao-san. Very good evening to everyone on this auspicious day of inauguration of Classroom Complex Block. On behalf of BLDEA Association, and BLD's Vachana Pitama Dr. P.G. Halkatti, College of Engineering and Technology, in the historical city of the Vijapur, in the state of the Karnataka, I heartily welcome Honorable Mr. Katsumasa Marao, Deputy Consul, Consulate General of Japan, Bangalore. Honho. Some Japanese sentences for you, sir. Hono koko kakara kenge shimasu. Zai Bangalore nihon soro jikan fukukomon maru shitsumashi. Watashi tachi no shitoya o ukirete sushiki shite kurete. Bijapuro de no taizi ga minori o tonoshi mononi mduru koto nagetemasu. Arigatou gozaimasu, Mr. Marao-san. On this occasion, I welcome Mr. Dolwin Kuntina, Advisor, Consulate General of Japan, Bangalore too. We are highly grateful to our visionary and dynamic president, Honorable Dr. M.B. Patil, BLDEA Association Vijapur, for inviting today's guest and offering us to arrange inauguration of the classroom complex, as well as interaction with Mr. Katsumasa Marao, with our students and employees. We owe you a lot, sir. Honorable sir. Thank you very much. Extremely delighted to welcome our young and visionary director, Honorable Mr. B.M. Patil, for his enormous support and motivation to our technical campus. And we are marching towards global connection with the foreign universities and the Fortune 500 multinational corporations. Hats off, Honorable Sir, to your vision, goals to achieve something unachievable. I welcome Dr. Mantesh Biradar, Protocol Officer, and Dr. Raghavendra Kulkarni, Chief Administrative Officer of BLDEA Association, for tremendous efforts and motivation for the successful organization of visit of distinguished guests of Consulate General of Japan. I welcome media person, news reporters, other social media personalities for their presence to such occasion. I welcome other dignitaries of the dais, students, faculty members, staff, and various stakeholders for your presence and the support. Thank you everyone present here. Dr. P.G. Halkatti, a native of Dharwad and a visionary known as Vachana Pitamaha, who migrated to Bijapur, presently known as the Vijayapur, and founded the association initially in the name of Bijapur Lingayat Educational Institute on October 23, 1910. In the year 1942, a religious leader and visionary Sri Sangam Basaveshwara Mahashiva Yogi of Banthanal laid a firm foundation to the BLDEA Association by establishing various education institutes. He played a major role in developing the association and established many primary and secondary schools and colleges for higher education. In the 1960s, another great visionary, Dr. B.M. Patil, foresaw the potential and need of scaling up educational opportunities of the people of this region. With his vision and perseverance, he gave a new dimension to the functioning of institutions under BLDEA Association and established new institutions to impart professional education. The association established an engineering college, pharmacy college, nursery college, and medical college, along with a 1,000-bed teaching hospital, the first of its kind in the country. New era has begun in the 1990s when the son of Dr. B.M. Patil, a young and dynamic leader, Dr. M.B. Patil, took over the reins of BLDEA Association. His primary objective was providing quality education with modern concept of liberalization, globalization, and tremendous expansion in various new courses. He conceived the need of establishing the university and strived to establish the BLDEA University, which came into the existence on 29 February 2008. As of now, BLDEA Association runs more than 75 institutions in both rural and urban areas of the Vijapur and Bagalkot districts in the form of primary and high schools, pre-university colleges, undergraduate colleges of arts, science, commerce, law, management, education science, fine arts, pharmacy, nursing, sericulture, polytechnic, medical sciences with postgraduate courses, and above all, BLD deemed to be university, which is ranked 7th in all India, and Vachana Pitama Dr. P.G. Halkatti College of Engineering and Technology, which is ranked 35 in all India. BLDEA Association is a non-profit organization catering to the education needs of underprivileged children and widening the educational opportunities. Promoting religious, scientific, and general literature is one of the important objectives of the association. BLD aims to achieve this objective by establishing schools, colleges, and free student hostels for poor students. The association, with a rich history of more than a century is dedicated for multilaterally development through its wide educational and cultural institutional network. Ranked 35 in All India Engineering Institution by Time Survey, BLD's VP Dr. PG Halkatti College of Engineering and Technology, famously known as BLDCT, is one of the premier institutions of Northern Karnataka region with an enormous campus spread across 15 acres of land in the historical city of the Vijapur. The esteemed institution was established in the year 1980 under the umbrella of BLDEA Association. BLDCT is affiliated to Vishweshwara Technological University, Belgavi, and is recognized by AICTE New Delhi. 5 programs have been accredited twice by National Board of Accreditation, NBA, New Delhi, during the year 2005, 2015, and 4 programs have been re-accredited during the year 2018. Very recently, the institute is also accredited by National Assessment and Accreditation Council, that is NAAC. BLDCT renders a state-of-the-art quality education in 9 undergraduate programs, namely architecture, automobile engineering, civil engineering, computer science and engineering, electronics and communication, electrical and electronics, information science, and mechanical engineering. Very recently commenced emerging program named Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning. To support UG programs with a specialization, BLDCT offers 6 postgraduate programs that are Master of Technology in Environmental Engineering, Structural Engineering, Machine Design, Computer Science, Digital Communication and Networking, Microelectronics and Control Systems, in addition to MBA and MCA as a professional qualification. 6 research centers are offering PhD programs in the field of computer science and engineering, civil engineering, environmental engineering, mechanical engineering, chemistry, and mathematics, which are recognized by VTU Belgavi. BLD has established its own Center of Excellence in collaboration with Bosch Rexroth in the field of IoT and automation. Institute has its own startup named BLD Innovation and Design Services, which is called as the BITS, which is offering services in web designing, Android application, and architectural construction services to its stakeholders and customers along with environmental audits, testing and consultancy services of many education campuses and other organizations. Incubation Cell is supported by Government of Karnataka, and Entrepreneurship Development Cell is supported by Department of Science and Technology, New Delhi. About 3,000 students are studying in a campus with 200 teaching faculty members working at the present in the college. The institute has memorandum of understanding with foreign universities like Porto University, Portugal, Swansea University, UK, Lublin Institute of Technology, Poland, Factory Mind, Norway, Vans Chemistry, Singapore, and many more national and international Fortune 500 multinational companies. The biggest strength of the institution is its highly ambitious human resource. The institute has more than 200 well-qualified faculty members, of which 36 doctorates from IIT, NIT, JNTU, VTU. The faculty members of the institutions are actively involved not only in the teaching and learning processes, but also in research activities and other professional licensing collaboration. The institute has received research grants of more than 20 million from various funding agencies of India and abroad, besides publishing research articles in various journals of international report like Scopus, Web of Science, and Thomson Reuters. BLDCT is tied up with the 7th Sense technology and thereby offering internships to students of all branches of engineering, management, computer application, and architecture. Apart from this, we are in collaboration with top Fortune 500 multinational companies across the globe for internships and trainings to the students. Till now, 6,000 students have been benefited with such internship activities. Over 1,000 students are placed in top companies with such internships and the job opportunities. 100% placement in top 10 Fortune 500 companies in all programs of engineering, architecture, business administration, and computer application is prime objective of BLDCT. More than 90% of students got placed in top companies with salary packages ranging from 4 lakh to 24 lakh per annum. Even in pandemic, BLDCT is offered such placements which are highly appreciated by our students, parents, and stakeholders. Students of the institutions are actively involved in curricular, non-curricular, and extracurricular activities and bagged various awards and the prizes. Our alumni are working diversified field, public sector, governance, corporate and film industry also at various levels. Alumni are working in corporate companies like Microsoft, IBM, Yahoo, SAP, Oracle, GE, GM, etc. across the globe. Once again, I heartily welcome everyone on this August gathering. Thank you very much. Arigato gozaimasu.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your warm welcome. And definitely, I do agree. I would like to repeat it that if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a true leader. And of course, we are fortunate to be led by our prominent leaders who have exhibited their capacity to translate vision into reality. That is true, sir. Thank you. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing Mr. Maruo Katsumasa, Deputy Consul General of Japan. Mr. Maru Katsumasa is a law graduate from Waseda University, Japan. He joined Ministry of Foreign Affairs in 1990. He was posted in Embassy of Japan at Korea. In 1995, he was posted in Domestic Public Relations Division. Later, in 1997, he was posted in Intelligence Coordination Division. Further, in 2000, he was transferred to Terrorism Preparedness and Response Division. In 2002, he was transferred to Korea as a consul in Consulate General of Japan Office. In 2011, he was transferred to Security Division in Japan. In 2015, he was promoted as Senior Specialist in the National Archives Center of Japan. Subsequently, since June 2019, he is in Bengaluru, India as Deputy Consul General of Japan. We are really fortunate to have him among us. Thank you, sir. And now I would like to request Mr. Maru Katsumasa to present his talk. Yes, sir, definitely.
Okay. Namaskara. ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಕತ್ಸುಮಾಸರು ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಭೇಟಿ ಮಾಡಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಸಂತೋಷವಾಯಿತು. Before beginning the speech, thank you for invite the beautiful and the historical city of the Bijapur and great institution BLDEA. Okay. At the outset, I would like to thank you for the invitation, the opportunity to introduce the work of our Consulate General of Japan in Bangalore. Their first and foremost role of the Consulate General of Japan is to assist Japanese nationals in Karnataka when they get into the various troubles. The second role is to prepare the necessary certification documents for the daily life and procedures, and accepting notices of their family status, such as marriage and childbirth, on behalf of the local governmental body in Japan. These works are done in the counters in the Consulate General. Thirdly, there are many Japanese companies that are established or considering establishing operation in Karnataka. Now, in Karnataka, there are about 500 offices in over 200 Japanese companies in Karnataka. And it's our duty to support these companies for the smooth establishment operation. The fourth task is to introduce Japan and Japanese culture to the people of India, especially in Karnataka, and providing information about the learning Japanese and other Japan-related topics to support culture and people-to-people exchange between Japan and India. And actually, I could not prepare the details of human exchange between Karnataka and India, Karnataka and Japan. I will share to you all later. The fifth task is to issue visas to Indian citizens who wants to visit Japan for various reasons. Although it is on hold at the moment due to the pandemic of COVID-19. We hope the COVID-19 pandemic will finish early as possible, and going to Japan by Indian people will restart. Next. In my address, I'd like to explain about pop culture, martial arts, Japanese food, and Japanese religion and tourism as part of my responsibility to introduce Japan and the Japanese culture, as mentioned in the introductory words. In Japan, pop culture is the generic term used to describe the modern popular culture. In concrete, it includes manga, anime, that is animation, games, movies, and television. There are many people all over the world who get fascinated with Japanese language and culture after being exposed to it, and becomes fans of Japanese pop culture. And it's one of the most important tools to deepen their understanding of rich tradition and culture of Japan. Next, okay. This is like an example of manga. Manga is gaining the popularity in India, with aspiring manga artists competing their skill at the largest, India's largest Japan introduction event, Japan FAPA, which is held annually in Bangalore. The amusing and vivid characteristics of manga, which is the narrative style. Narrative story. This is. Though the words is described in the vacant space. Okay. Which is narrative style with the series of picture and dialogues. Manga is being used in Japan in a way that is probably unthinkable in India. From elementary school students to the working adults, manga is being used to the easy understanding contents of our textbook. Instantly, I brought the book which include manga. Actually, Actually, I read that is a book about India, explaining India, including the manga. I studied India through this book before arriving in Bangalore. In addition, as the trend in Japan, there are a number of manga-based TV dramas that have been broadcasted, produced into movies, and put on the screen, which have gained great popularity. Okay. For example, dramas like Boys Over Flowers. The Japanese title is Hana Yori Dango, a story of a struggling poor girl when she enters the school with many Western students. And the example of the popular movies is Thelma Romai, in which the main character repeatedly travels back in the time. Rome is a Roman era, and to modern Japan to build an advanced bathhouse and save Rome. By the way, this movie, Thelma Romai, was screened in Karnataka by our Consulate General of Japan and gained a lot of popularity. Next. That is an example of the anime. Anime has also gained popularity in India for more than a decade now. And in Bangalore, local bands have played the theme song of the anime at the annual Japan Hapa event to introduce Japan. Anime and manga are similar in nature, and many works of manga are broadcasted in the form of anime. Anime is a style of art in which pictures with slightly different movements and shapes are shot frame by frame to make them appear to be moving continuously. There are several reasons for popularity of anime, not only in Japan, but also other countries, including India. First of all, the genre of Japanese anime is very diverse, which includes science fiction, romance, suspense, history, psychic, and horror. Secondly, some of the works of the Japanese anime have non-Japanese protagonists, or they describe foreign countries. The Rose of Versailles, Japanese title is Versailles no Bara, is a work which describes France in the 18th century, and whose protagonist is Marie Antoinette, the wife of the French king Louis XVI. Of course, this Versailles no Bara has been made by Japanese author. Thirdly, Japanese anime is beautifully and delicately drawn down to the background, characters, and accessories. Next, just a moment. For example, the color of sky is not just monochromatic, light blue, but also has a grade of shades, and many of them have a beauty that transcend the boundary of anime. Next. The recent trend is anime is that the detail of the cityscape are so similar to the reality that some local governments are comparing a city place. Compare the cityscape depicted in anime with actual cityscape photographed and promoting it as a tourism restaurants. There are also some places like Akihabara and Ikebukuro's Otome Road, where anime-related stores are centralized and have become the tourist attractions. As for anime, printed materials with anime characters are very popular and are being sold on the e-commerce site and various stores across India. In the state of Karnataka, there are stores in Bangalore that have animation materials. Next. Through some Japanese game described as that screen, we can simulate various experiences. For example, among these Japanese games, there are games that are simulating the raising pets into running a zoo. And there are also baseball and soccer simulation games that allow you to think about how to appoint players and plan strategies as if you were the manager of a professional teams. Some soccer games go on to simulate managing your own club's finances, buying and selling players, and signing sponsorship deals, meeting with players, and scouting staff and upgrading facilities. In some games, you can play not only by reasoning, but also moving your body to simulate the experience. For example, some games allow you to simulate each sport by grabbing a switch that right side. Attach the console and performing the same movement like boxing. For example, boxing like this, and tennis, and golf, etc. There are even games that allow you to perform actual fitness activities. Next. Let me go to the next topic, cosplay. Cosplay is walking around the streets by putting on the costume of character from manga, anime, games, etc. In Japan, there are many magazines, events, and photo shoots that are dedicated to cosplayers who wear such a costume. There are instances where they are used to advertise as cosplay restaurant and various games Akihabara's pedestrian area. Some of these cosplayers belong to the entertainment agency and work as actors. For example, as actors, event companions whose occupation is promote events, race queens whose occupation is promote teams that participate in the car races and auto races held at circuits. Camping girls, whose occupation is promote campaigns and their products, fashion model and other models, and voice actors. There are also cases of idol, celebrities, and voice actors, and gravure photography. No. Okay. Pandemic COVID-19, pre-pandemic of COVID-19, our Consulate General of Japan in Bangalore was to organize cosplay walk in Bangalore every year in March. If pandemics of COVID-19 will be calmer, we hope to hold the cosplay walk the next summer in Bangalore. I hope that the dreams come true. Next. Let's go to the next topics. Budo. Budo, the Japanese martial arts, were originally developed from hunting and fighting techniques, and developed under the influence of the religions such as Shintoism, and Confucianism, and Buddhism. After the end of the Sengoku era, that is from the middle of 15th century to the beginning of 17th century. And the beginning of the Edo period, there was no longer a need for samurai and martial arts, which had been used to a means of fighting. Later developed into Budo, where the focus was not only training in techniques, not only training in techniques, but also the refining of the mind through the training. One of the most important characteristics of Budo is that it places a higher value on courtesy than any other sports. And people always bow to each other before and after a match. The purpose of this is to show the respect to the opponent, control emotion and fight instinct, and prevent injuries to each other. The second important feature is the detailed set of kata techniques and forbidden moves to protect the opponents and oneself. The example of Budo are Judo, Kendo, Kyudo, Karate, and Sumo. And let me explain one by one. Next. Judo is Budo that was performed completely in the Meiji era from 1868 to 1912. Mainly based on throwing techniques. Judo consists wearing a thick, open-fronted cotton jacket and loose cotton pants tied with a jacket with the obi belt. The classes Q and Dan are assigned according to ability, and the color of the belt is determined by the Q and Dan. There are main types of technique. First technique is throwing techniques, nagewaza. Next, the left side. Nagewaza where the opponent is thrown using by hands, waist, and legs. The other right side technique is katamewaza, freeze techniques in which the opponent is held in the standing or being laid down position and forced to stop movement for a certain period of time. There are three main types of forbidden moves: punching, kicking, and passive fighting. If passing fighting style continues for a certain period of time, the referee will gain a warning. Judo is playing on the hard tatami mats, Japanese stroke mats, So if you hit on the wrong spot, you may get injured. Therefore, in order to avoid injury when being thrown, several patterns of ukemi, the method of the defense, prescribed, which are introduced in the beginning of judo training. Though a division from topic in Japan, there are ways to treat injury such as broken bones, dislocations, bruises, sprains, and contusions by applying a judo technique. This is called judo therapy. And there are people in Japan who have made it their profession. Next. Kendo is Budo that spread rapidly from the Sengoku era to the early Edo period with the emergence of the many schools and kenjutsu. The art of swords and the creation is shinai, bamboo sword, and a protective gear in the mid-Edo period. The basic kendo uniform is a black jacket and a black hakama, like underpants, with a mask over the head and torso, flank to protect the body apart from the stomach to the waist, and kote bracer to protect the body apart from the hands to wrists. Techniques can be roughly divided into men to strike the upper part of opponent's head, do to strike the opponent's waist, kote to strike the opponent's wrist, and ski strike the opponent's throat. It is forbidden to attack any part of body with a shinai, bamboo sword, other than the above mentioned techniques. Next. Judo is Budo that was developed during the Edo period and similar to archery. However, archery is allowed to comfort the more normal sportswear, whereas Judo is comfort wearing the jacket and hakama, formerly divided shirts. Next. The left side is Judo or target, and the right side is archery target. The important difference between archery and Judo in the way squats are calculated. In archery, score is determined for each part of the target, and closer to center, higher the score. Whereas Judo points are counted according to the number of the arrows which hit the target. Though the diversion from topics, while the martial arts of using the bow or developed as Judo, it began to reach out from the Kamakura period. Next. In the Kamakura period, from the 1185 to 1333, Minamoto no Yoritomo, the first shogun of the Kamakura shogunate, dedicated the act of shooting target with the bow while riding horse to the Tsurugaoka Hachimangu shrine in the Kamakura. This has been featured at the event Yabusame, and you can see it in the shrine. Next. Karate was introduced in the Edo, introduces the Edo period from 1603 to 1868 as a fusion of Okinawan and Chinese martial arts. And some believes that its origin can be traced back to Indian Karate paths. India has a karate population about 5 million, or second only to Indonesia. For those who are unfamiliar to judo and karate, karate is often thought similar to judo, but there are some differences. In judo, or judogi, judo uniform can be grabbed in the process of the throwing broken techniques. Whereas in karate, fabric of karate-gi is thinner because grabbing is not expected. Karate competitions include kata kumite, while judo does not have the kata. Kata is a competition of a profession in which a person performs a set of sequence of attacks and a countered attack in anticipation of being attacked from all directions. Kumite is a performance by two people to see how well techniques are executed. The techniques can be roughly divided into tsuki, thrusts, and keri, kicks, which are equivalent to punches in boxing. It is for this forbidden to apply the techniques to the head, face, neck, groin, and the joints, which are very vulnerable to injury. Next. Sumo is a sport in which wrestler fights each other wearing only a mawashi. The mawashi made of silk covers the rikishi's waist, and it used to protect the wrist, waist, and stomach, which are the center of gravity, and give him more strength. Unlike other martial arts, sumo was originally performed as an offering to the god and pray for the good harvest. And there still remain remnants of this practice today. Next. First of all, the dohyo is considered to be the place where the god dwells, and salt in the always sprinkled to purify it before Rikishi's bout. The dohyo is surrounded by the round rope, and 4-colored tassels hanging on the 4 sides of the roof of the sumo dohyo are derived from the 4 gods. Because of belief that dohyo is sacred when the sumo is stable, which is same as a team in other sports. Repairs the dohyo 3 times a year, or when new dohyo is when a new dohyo is built for local tournament. A ritual is always held to pray a good harvest, and rice, salt, and chestnut and other harvests are buried in dohyo. Okay, good. Please back. Back. Okay. According to Rikishi is related to the ritual, the meikak mawashi worn by a rikishi of certain rank and above during dohyo iri, ring entering ceremony, and sagari, which is you can see the right side picture. So hanging with the stomach. The sagari, a simplified version of the mawashi worn during the boots, has the meaning of uniforms worn during a ritual. The shimenawa, which is the highest ranking yokozuna, you can see the left side picture, the left side. This is the white tie. It's essentially a sign of sacred space at the shrine. By the way, dohyo-iri may be held at shrine when a player is promoted from ozeki to yokozuna. Before the sumo match, the rikishi step, the method shiko. This is right side, which is meant to drive away the evil spirit from the soil. In sumo, Rikishi wins if knocked down, throws, pushes his opponent out of the dojo. In other countries, there is no boundary line in the dojo, or you do not lose if you step outside the boundary line. It may be because dojo is a secret space that the rikishi can win by pushing other rikishi out of dojo. In Fukuoka, judo and tourism are being combined in the program that include the judo experiences at the dojo, training camp and match watching. In Okinawa, the birthplace of karate, international karate tournament is held. Facility are opened to promote karate, and the demonstration festival is to help to commemorate Karate Day in October 25. Next. No. Next. No. Okay. Just a moment. Okay. Japan, which is long north-south axis for the 4 distinct seasons, has a diverse and rich natural environment, and the traditional food culture of Japanese people, which is wakushoku, Japanese cuisine, which is recognized as an intangible cultural heritage by UNESCO in December 2013. There are 4 main characteristics of Japanese cuisine. First of all, Japan is a country that is not only lengthy from north to south, east to west, but also has a wide variety of natural features such as oceans, mountains, and rivers. On the top of that, there are some recent dishes that have a shorter history than the traditional dishes, but are rooted in the region because of their popularity among the general public. Secondly, Japan has 4 distinct seasons characterized by the beauty of nature and the changing in the season. And Japanese food is closely related to these annual events to mark the end of season, which is celebrated sharing the meal. Japanese people enjoy the different seasons through the decorated dishes by flowers and leaves or use fruits according to the season. Thirdly, Japanese food is closely related to the traditional Japanese religious wishes in the mind. Fourthly, those regions that have served as contact points with foreign countries over the course of the long history, or the regions which have seen the settlement from all of the world, which gave way for new dishes that are the result of fusion of their factors. Next. To elaborate the first point, for example, cold region, people prefer pickled vegetable, marine products dipped in salt of koji, whereas the hot regions, such as Okinawa, people eat cold dishes to increase their stamina. Next. In the areas such as Aomori Prefecture, which is surrounded by the sea, people consume the dishes prepared out of marine products such as scallop, squid, tuna. While in areas such as Nagano Prefecture, where it's the North Sea, people consume river fish. Next. In addition, Nagano Prefecture is surrounded by mountain with altitude of 2,000 meters, and it is not conducted to produce rice because it's cold nature. So people found alternative to rice dishes such as soba, buckwheat noodle, oyaki made from buckwheat flour or wheat flour. In addition to these traditional local dishes, there are other dishes that have taken root in the region as a cuisine of ordinary citizens. Next. For example, there are some dishes that are unique to the particular region, such as torimotsu, which has been the famous dish in Kofu City, Yamanashi Prefecture, which is prepared by stewing chicken motsu, which is usually thrown away. Yaki curry, which is curry spread on the rice, later grilled and eaten mainly in Kitakyushu City in Fukuoka Prefecture. Next. Even ramen is yakisoba noodle have different ingredients and the seasoning depending on the region. Next. To elaborate the second point, season and annual events, for example, include the chirashizushi, which is eaten on the occasion of the Hinamatsuri, Doll and Girl Festival on March 3rd. Unagi kabayaki, great ear, which is eaten in the hottest month of August for the increased stamina. Next. Zoni, stewed rice cake with soup, and osechirori, New Year's dishes, which are consumed during the New Year. Thirdly, I would like to brief about dishes which are religious wishes. Using example about chirashizushi and osechirori, back. Okay. Chirashizushi is made from various ingredients placed on the top of vinegar's rice. Parents making special prayers for the child. The child should never have to worry about food in her life. For example, lotus root in place of the top of rice with the hope that girls able to girl child will have the bright future and be able to work successfully. Shrimp placed on the top of rice with the hope the girl child with long life until her back bends. And yellowish boiled egg, kinshi tamago, is placed on the top of rice with the hope that girl child with blessed with gold, silver, and treasure. Next. Okay, just move next. Kuromame, baked black beans are used for good health and good hard work. It makes mame in Japanese language. And the black color of beans also had the meaning of protection from evil. Kobumaki, fish wrapped in kombu or keb, is believed to bring joy, that in Japanese, yorokobu, to New Year. Next. Creakington chestnut boiled in the golden sweet potato starch represent a wish for good luck with money. Shrimp represent which long life until one's back is bent. Kazunoko, the raw the herring fish, is associated with the wish that prosperous offspring and good luck with children. Next. In Japan, buri, yellowtail, which is called the difference depending on its growth, and teriyaki, yellowtail with teriyaki sauce, is even eaten with hope for success. To elaborate the first point, in Hokkaido region, there are dishes that develop uniquely through the manual influence of the cuisine, the Ainu people and the cuisine of the hometowns of pioneers who are brought to Hokkaido. For example, shisomaki, which is made by fried peas in the miso paste, wrapping them in shiso, deep frying with them, which are commonly consumed in the Tohoku region, including Fukushima, Miyagi, and Iwate prefectures, and Western Shizuoka prefecture. Nagasaki prefecture has a long history of active trade for foreign countries, and this is reflected in cuisine, such as champon, Chinese influenced dishes, castella, sponge cake, Western influenced Japanese confectionery, and the shippoku course meal that combines Chinese, Japanese, and Western cuisines. Next. Okay. Throughout Japan, there are many examples of using strategy, local cuisine to attract tourists, making use of unique characters of each region. One of Japan's unique food culture is linked to the tourism ekiben and soraben at the rail station and airports. Bento boxes featuring local ingredients and cuisine are prepared and served so that one can enjoy local cuisine at the station, airport, and so on the train. Next. Next. Japanese religions originally recognized the existence of God and secret things in animal, plants, and other lifeless things, even in low rocks and waterfalls. It is similar to Hinduism, which in the polytheists. Buddhism, which originated in India, largely merged with Shinto in the 6th century, is developed into a religion which is popular in Japan. There are many Japanese gods, and the number is uncountable. Incidentally, anciently, I once made an attempt to count the number of goods in Kojiki, Japan's oldest collection of myths, completed in the 8th century. At present, I forgot exact number, but there are more than 100 gods. Because of polytheistic nature, both shrines and temples have their own gods and people to worship. And each has its own role or wishes to fulfill. For example, their wishes were made for blessing of child, healing from illness, to have a good relationship between husband and wife, to prosper in business and to succeed in work, get through disasters, to have a good harvest, and for traffic safety. Which prayer would you like? Which would you like to have come true the most? Next. One of the most interesting religious custom in Japan is Shijikukujin tours of the 7 gods and gods of fortune, which is held every year after the New Year Day. 7 gods of good fortune are Ebisu, the gods of prosperity and business; Daikokuten, the god of good harvest, success; Bishamonten, the god of good fortune and exorcism; Benzaiten, the god of wisdom, treasure, and marriage. Fukurokuju, the god of happiness, humanity, and longevity. Jirojin, the god of wealth and longevity. Bukson, the gods of family, happiness, and childbirth. Now, how many of those gods are unique to Japan? Anyone? Okay. Actually, Ebisu is the only deity that is indigenous to Japan. The other three from China, Daikokuten, Bishamonten, and Benzai, and Daikokuten, Bishamonten, and Benzaiten are from India. They are Mahakala, an incarnation of Shiva, Kubera, the god of wells, the Saraswati, the god of water. There are tour courses for visiting the 7 gods of good fortune of all over Japan, where you can visit temple and shrines where each god is enshrined. Research mark of peace, large square poetry cards, which received at the first place you visit. Though temporarily the COVID has prevented the mutual visit of Japanese people and Indian people, Japan Airlines has direct flights between Bengaluru and Bengaluru, the capital of Karnataka, and Tokyo. From Vijayapura, it is 2.5 drive to Kalaburagi, and the direct flight to Bengaluru. It is now possible to get Japan in much lesser time than it used to make us via Southeast Asia and Hong Kong. I would like to conclude this speech by praying the end of COVID-19 and hope the resurgence of economic, cultural, and human exchanges between northern part of Karnataka, including Vijayapura and Japan. Dhanyawad.
Thank you, sir. Any would like to ask any questions? Yeah, I would like to request all the dignitaries to take their seat on the dais. Please, sir. Anybody?
Mr. Marausan would like to have an interaction with you. Please ask the questions. Students and faculty members, please ask the questions. Huh? Thank you very much.
Good evening, Mr. Maro. We are pleased with your presentation regarding Japanese culture and religious. My question is, like, both India and Japan shares a rich culture and religious, and also we are fastest growing economies. I wonder, is there any connection between this culture, religion, and growing economy? How it play a role in sustainable economy development?
Road for a sustainable economy. In the world, there are 2 countries.
Both India and Japan, we are known for our culture and religious. So whether it plays an important role for sustainable economic development, is there any link? What is your view on that?
Okay. I think it is important. It is the most important that understanding the strong point to each other. For example, strong point of India is young people, young labor, and IT skill. And Japan's strong point is manufacturing, the skills and infrastructure. So it is important that each other understand each strong point and supplement each other. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Students, I think you might be curious about Japanese culture, religion, the technology also. Okay, here comes another question.
Good evening, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, way back in somewhere 2002, 2003, I came across a book called One Straw Revolution by Monsuba Fukuoka of Japan. I hope you heard about him because he has created a, revolution in the agriculture field. So recently, around 5-10 years back, he died. And I am a follower of his agriculture practice from last 20 years. So I would like to visit any research center working towards Japan in his work, sir. Can you give me a connection, sir? If you heard it about him, sir. Mansugo Fukuoka.
Oh, you mean? Do you mean the visa?
Pardon, sir?
Visa? No.
No, sir. Is there any link of some research center working over there in the Japan?
Yeah. You mean
on his work?
Okay. You mean the collaboration between this?
No, I was on a personal interest, and some around 20-25,000 followers are there in Karnataka, sir.
Okay. Yeah.
His agriculture practices are followed there.
Okay. Okay.
I'm sorry, sir, if it is off.
I see. Okay. Okay. If you give the information, concrete information, I will consider and to share to connect to Japan or our consulate.
I think he's very popular around 2000 and 2005, sir. He had created a lot of revolution in the agriculture field. He has said that do nothing farming and one straw revolution, two popular books he has written. And around 98, at the age of 95 or 98, he expired around 5-10 years back, sir. And around 50,000, 25 to 50,000 followers are there who are practicing these practices and the agriculture. So that's why I came across a bit interest or curiosity to know anything about it. I'll give the information, you can help me out, sir.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions? Ma'am, please.
Good evening, sir. Sir, I would like to know the students of engineering and medicine from India, say from Karnataka, what are the prospects for them for higher studies and making their career in Japan?
Actually, we had not experienced the case of the medical student case. So I have to share to Tokyo.
So most of the students go to US or UK and all, but some will be specifically interested to do their higher studies and career in Japan. So what are the prospects for such students?
Okay. Now, I have I have no, I have little knowledge about this area. So we check and
Yes.
look
Sure,
into
sir.
it.
Sure, sir. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Anybody else? Yes, sir, please.
Good evening, sir. I would like to have a general question. What is the secret behind the Japanese long life as compared to other countries' people?
That is the biggest question.
This is very difficult question. In my opinion, anciently, many of Japanese people worked hard physically and had healthy food. So the elder person, for example, who has been lived beyond 100 years, has eat well and move well. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, one of our students wants to ask a question.
Good evening, sir.
Yes.
I am happy to say that I grew up watching anime and I'm a huge fan of Sir Masashi Kishimoto. My question is that what drives people of Japan to work so hard so we could see such beautiful animes that is so realistic? We forget our own pain and we directly get motivation from that anime. I would like to ask what drives you so well that you get motivated and motivate us?
Oh, you mean how to get a license in Japan?
No, sir. I want to ask what drives
motivation. I think it is a hope hope that our reader is happy to read it. Okay.
Sorry, sir, I couldn't get.
Anime. Okay. You want to ask questions? What is the motivation of working hard by Japanese people generally? Okay. Okay.
You're talking about animation, is it? Yes, sir, animation.
Yeah. Okay. How the motivation of working hard by animator or by animator in Japan is that hope that reader of the animation will be happy to watch it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, sir. Sir, I have one question. How do you think language is a barrier when it comes to challenging to promote the cultural prosperity? How you can cope up this language? Sorry, how cope up with the challenge of language as a barrier whenever you are promoting a culture of a country?
Okay. The biggest barrier between Japan and India is language, as you said. I think we have to promote Japanese language in India, so that Japanese language school increases, and Japanese themselves have to improve English as well. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else? Yes, sir, please. Somebody, One second, sir. Okay, sir.
Good evening, sir. The American people are they are following the concept of innovation. As a Japanese, you people are following the concept of kaizen, that is a continuous improvement, sir. So still you are following the same concept or something? Any changes you have done recently?
Actually, anciently, Japanese people have made much effort, many efforts to improve and create everything. But because the Japan has grown enough, so many of the Japanese people feel satisfied in the current situation, I think.
Thank you, sir. I think Chachan sir has got a question. Can you please give the mic to him?
Good evening, sir. Can India and Japan have the cultural festivals in each other's country? What is your, can India and Japan can have the cultural festivals in each other's? Like we are having cultural festivals, Indian cultural festival in Russia.
Cultural festival?
Cultural festivals.
Cultural festival.
Yeah.
Okay. It is
what is your view on this?
Okay. It is not easy. But if the budget situation and various situations allow, it is not impossible. Okay, I will share to the headquarters.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you for the interaction. Sir, we were very glad to hear the Kannada words from you. Very happy. And we thank you for taking that extra effort. And definitely, sir, you enlightened us regarding the Japanese pop culture, where technology advances are used to retain older artistic and literary traditions. And also you enlightened us regarding Japanese martial arts, which aims to spiritual, moral, cultural, and physical development. I think that is the secret of your long life. And definitely, sir, we are very happy to know that we have got a lot of similarities, even in case of gods also, and in case of the seasonal ingredients which have been using in your cuisine. We are very happy to hear all these details from you, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot. I request Dr. Shri M.B. Patil to felicitate Mr. Maruo Katsumasa. Please, sir. Okay. this is the tradition which we follow in India. Our guests are treated to equal spot. So our Honorable President is honoring the guest in a pure traditional Indian manner. Thank you, sir. I request all the dignitaries to be seated on the dais for another 10 minutes. I request Dr. Shri M.B. Patil to present his presidential remarks. Please, sir.
Honorable Deputy Consul General of Japan, Bengaluru, Mr. Katsumasa Maro, and all the faculty members and office bearers of BLDEA Association and BLD University. Sir, it is a pleasure and honor to have you over here at Vijaypura, the historical city in India, Karnataka. And also, it is an added pleasure also and honor that you have been visiting the great institution of BLDEA associations, Dr. Farguharkat Engineering College, and tomorrow you are visiting the BLD University and Sri B.M. Patil Medical College. It's a great honor you being here, and we are really inspired by your talk. We had a detailed information of the culture, the cuisine, the religious, this one of your country, great country. At the outset, let me bring it into a nutshell that India and Japan, in the religious front, we are all the same. As you also mentioned in the son, for Kubera, we have this one, the wealth, we have Goddess Lakshmi. For knowledge, we have Goddess Saraswati. And we have Vignesh, the person who was delivering in the inaugural prayer. It is to remove the obstacles and all. So you said you have 100 gods. Probably we have more than 10,000 gods. 33 crores, no God. So as the regional thing, I think by the time you have, in your tenure, you have probably noticed and understood, India is also a very diverse country. From the culture point of view, for the food point of view, and for the attire, everything changes from each state to state. Sometimes in the states, we have differential this one. For example, you are here now in northern part of Karnataka, Vijaypur. Here our food habits are different. Our attire is different. What you call, when you mentioned about the people of Japan, costumes. The costumes are different in Mysuru part of this one and here Bangalore and as well as Vijaypur. Similarly, the food habits, For example, today afternoon we had that jawar, the millet. Whereas if you go to Bangalore, you find about more of rice, more of another millet called ragi. So India is very diverse. So each state to state, Kerala has a different this one, Tamil Nadu has a different, this one, Rajasthan, if you have, I don't know how many states you have visited. Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Maharashtra, like Mumbai. So there's all different cultures there. They have a different costumes, different food habits, and the way of life also is almost a little different. So one thing I like to be proud of your country. You rose from the World War. You rebuilt up a country. That shows the determination of your people, the focus of your people, the zeal of your people, that we have to rebuild, and again we have to be in the world's top map. And that you have been successful in that. And what we like to, India, we have a huge population, almost 130 crore people. The human capital is very young, as you rightly said. Indians are also hardworking, but lack of facilities, maybe educational facilities, and other maybe the exposure also has been that we have been because India has 70% of the population is villages. Of course, Japan too has villages, China too have villages. The village population, the farming community is the major community, and the second comes the labor class. And the third comes the medium class people, and again to go up and rise to the elite and the industrial class and the top business people. The most thing which I have been observed to follow your country is about the discipline. The discipline what you have in Japan is paramount. Probably the only barrier, I think, all these days was the language. Maybe had you had that advantage of language, of English being a world language, we have to accept it. It is the truth. Fortunately, India, as we were ruled, fortunately or unfortunately, whatever you say, where as we have ruled, that's the only thing which has been come up to us by the British regime, that's the English language. Our students, particularly the students who are here, the faculty, they're all hardworking. The communication, as like Japan, we do have a communication problem, but not as this one as Japan. But when you see why we were successful in the IT and all this is because our students are very hardworking. They have in-depth knowledge. Maybe in the communication area, they may be not able to communicate. That's why if we take the doctors during a few decades before, whether it's in US or any other country, world, UK, Germany, the doctors, Indian doctors are famous in all this as one. Whenever you find an Indian doctor, a surgeon over there. Similarly, the engineers, whether it's the software engineers, and before the software revolution started, we have this construction, civil engineering, and other electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, whatsoever, industrial and all this, which were the prime branches before. If you see in the world, this one again, our engineers are there toward the worldwide. The Japanese, you have the technology, this one, we were very strong. If you see the construction, the other technology, whether it's space, and more importantly, the electronics, this one. We have Sony, Panasonic. Then you have, when it comes to automobile, this one you have Toyota. So many other companies were this one. It was because once there was a time that America used to rule the automobile industry, but when it came to efficiency, the fuel efficiency and affordability and all other parameters, probably Japan became a model for all of them. And we started with Maruti Suzuki. But it became a huge, this one, the first car here, which a modern car was Suzuki, so Maruti Suzuki. Then by late 70s Sanjay Gandhi and the families. So now, as India, our culture is very strong. Our religious roots are very strong. And our people's hard working, this one also is very strong. Probably educationally, we have to still get into the primary, the secondary, and more importantly, the higher education and all this. That's why our students were asking whether what is the openings of higher education in Japan, whether we can pursue higher education in Japan, whether we can pursue our career in Japan. Maybe the language may be a little barrier, but nowadays that too has become with translators and all this. I think this, to a certain extent, that barrier has come down, and Japan is also moving very strong towards the global language. Here, I like to impress upon you, particularly as you've been, I do not want to talk about the country, I do not want to talk about the state. As you already said, you have 500 companies there in Bangalore already, the Japanese companies in Bangalore, which are providing employment as well as they're pursuing their business interests. As you have been today and tomorrow, you're going to be in the historical city of Vijaypur. We have a great tourism background. The highest monuments in this country is in Vijaypur. You have seen tomorrow morning, I think, early morning, go to visit Gol Gumbaj. Is the Whispering Gallery. Once you pronounce something, it will 14 times will rebound. It was the largest dome, second largest dome in the world after St. Basilica in Rome. But again, if you take the other parameter, like St. Basilica in Rome is a dome with pillar, and this is a pillarless dome in the world, the first largest pillarless dome in the world. Now, of course, things have changed, technology has changed. You do have a lot of domes being constructed for various purposes, exhibitions, your business areas, arenas, etc. So we have a black Taj. You might have heard about Taj Mahal, Agra. The black Taj, it is the black Taj, the Ibrahim Roja, has been influenced, the Taj Mahal was influenced to build by the Ibrahim Roja. So we like to, why I'm telling you all this is, we like to have a collaboration, you have to have a exchange, you have to explore things as tourism is concerned. India is very much, have most of the country, whether it's Jaipur, Rajasthan, Mysore, we would go 100 kilometers away, we have Badami, Patalkala, Ayod, monuments over there, we have Hampi. So throughout, then we have Belur, Halebeedu, if we come to here, Ajanta, Vellore. So tourism is much not, although we have fantastic tourism destinations and culture, which are world monuments, world UNESCO heritage monuments, but unfortunately the tourism, this one is not exploited. So I urge upon you to find out whether Japan can help us, connectivity for the tourism destinations, infrastructures for the tourism destinations, and how do we exploit this tourism potential of Karnataka as well as Vijaypur, as well as India. And again, coming to, as you have, Bangalore is the Silicon capital of India, like what in San Francisco in US. So we here, as you are very, very strong in electronics, we like to have, because our students, our state, particularly should be benefited with the Japanese electronic strength, whatever you have. And so that our students, our people, both as a career as well as education, they do benefit from that. Maybe technological exchanges, collaborations, in various this one as possible. And of course, Bijapur also has one more strength apart from the historical thing, the tourism thing we have. very good in horticulture. The grapes, what we grow here, one of the finest grapes here. As I already mentioned to you, we have pomegranate, we have lemon. Now, recently, we are even have come up with the dragon fruit, tried of the dragon fruit. And if we try some other horticulture varieties also, maybe we may be successful. So how do we collaborate with the horticulture? We have finest fruits over in Japan. The costliest mango also I seen is from Japan. So similarly, what horticulture, this one, how do we develop? And more than the horticulture, this one, the food processing. The value addition comes from the food processing. We like to have exchange, collaborations, knowledge, whatever way that we get into this food processing industries where we are very, very strong, the technological point, the food processing, the shelf life of various products, and how do we make the products, how do we develop all these areas like a food park and all these areas. You're already coming up with a food park, maybe not, when you say a food park, not like, you cannot imagine it like a software park or a food park in Japan or anywhere else. So it's a beginning, a startup level food park, what you call. Where do you have cold storage, we have storages and all other things. So this is one other area where we can, we'd like to seek your expertise, your collaborations and guidance and various things, so that it will be mutually benefit to both the countries. And lastly, I like to, because I have to have some personal interest also. As I have come to BLDEA Association, this educational institution, how do we collaborate with the Japanese institutions in technology, whether it's electronics, the infrastructure, artificial intelligence is concerned, and many more areas where our team, maybe by today, tomorrow, Mr. Kulkarni and Tulaire and the people from the medical field, tomorrow also the vice chancellor of the university and the principal of the medical school, they will also try to present. And we were very much interested in nursing thing. We were very much curious about the nursing thing area. Nursing principal was here, I don't know. Yeah, he's there, sitting there. And we do have management institute also. So pharmacy, the other sector is pharmacy. India is very good, this one in pharmacy. So here also the pharmacy, growth of the pharmaceutical things has to come, because Kulkarni is from pharmaceutical, this one. So these are the areas, some areas, I do not want to take too long, but these are the areas where we can jointly, with a mutual benefit, we can have some exchanges, some collaborations, which will benefit both of the. I am really glad, and we were all very happy by your wonderful presentation, your speech, that you, because the topic is that, but I mixed up certain things. I just carried some points from yours, as your talk is the introduction of Japan and its culture primarily. So culturally we are the same. We have different from area to area, from state to state, we are different. Our attires, our food, everything is totally different here. It's a vast country, and primarily it's agricultural focused country. So the infrastructure, agricultural infrastructure, the business infrastructure, all of even the connectivity also is another this one wherein I have to look into. Have now the Japan, we are famous. You are connected when it comes to rail network, your trains, your fast trains, your so many things there. Although Japan is a small country, but you have been a world leader, so to guide the entire world. So we should also the entire, because we should not be restricted to this one. This one should be benefited to the entire world. See, world now has become one. So it's the whether it's Japan or whether US or India, we'll all have to sit together and see that ultimately the final goal should be the world should develop, and the one world where we can have the human, this one has to be benefited. Some people of this one are asking about the secret of the health of Japanese people, the long life of the longevity of the Japanese people. See, our elders were also the same. We are now polluted. So not that our elders, they used to work hard. Now we to go to the neighbor house, we take a motorcycle. They used to walk, they used to go to work in the field and all this. So not that we are this one. So they used to also have healthy food. Now air is polluted. Food is also polluted with a lot of fertilizers, chemicals over there. So it has been, this one which is man-made. It's not our elders, this one, it is our fault. So that we have to change. And I already mentioned, see, Bijapur once was 7-8 years back, a decade before, it was totally a drought area. It was a backward region. In 5 years of my ministry as being from 2013 to 2018, I'm very happy and proud. And this one, I have a satisfaction that I have done a little bit to change the situation over here. So it will become little, the water level has come up and all this. So it's become a prosperous thing. Maybe one small area is left out, and that also has been covered now. So Vijaypur will be one of the richest districts as far as agriculture is concerned. And once agriculture comes up, the ancillary things like business and all other things will come up. So this is one area. Things will change, and still we have a long way to go. We have to have the Almaty, one of the famous reservoirs is in this place. The dam is in this district. So we have to further benefit from that dam also. And we have another request is automobile is one thing. So automobile is one thing where we have a great expertise. I do not want to talk about space and all this. So this one, research and all other things, automobile is one wherein we can have an collaboration here. You can, and your industries also are welcome to Bijapur. You want to have a Toyota, why to Bangalore? See, Bangalore doesn't have water now. Bijapur has enough of water for your industries. We'll give you land, we'll give you water, we'll give you power. But you come develop industries in this backward region, and the backward incentives of the backward regions, and you'll have a great satisfaction that a backward region has been uplifted. The concentration of Bangalore has to come down a little and to move to these areas like Vijaypur. So it is one thing that we will be benefited, and you will have a satisfaction that you have come up to a backward region, a rural this one, and you uplifted the rural economy and rural people. That is one thing we can proudly say in Japan. So with these words, I'm really honored. We are grateful to you for your visit to Vijaypur in general, and more particular to BLD institutions over here. And our journey starts from now. So we'll be in continuous collaboration, touch with you people, so that both your country and our area particularly, because I have no right to talk about the state, but of course, state you've been doing enough, but here we will be benefited both as Vijaypur as well as the BLD Association. I thank you again. It was a wonderful meet over here, and they're all inspired by your cultural exchange and knowing about your country, and we will really benefit from your visit, sir. Thank you very much, sir. We're really grateful. We're honored. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I would like to point one of the important things that we are proud to state that our Dr. Shri M.B. Padil, sir, is known as Adunika Bhagiratha. Bhagiratha is a person who has brought the Ganges from heaven to earth. So our leader has brought the water to Bijapur city. The groundwater levels have increased because of the effort he has taken. So he is known as Adhunika Bhagiratha, modern Bhagiratha. So definitely, sir, I do agree with you that our country is a very diverse country and prominent in its people, culture, and climate. And we are lacking in facilities and exposure. And thank you, sir, for reminding us to be proud of a Black Taj. Black Taj. Definitely, sir, we have got a lot of things with us, but we need to go back to our roots, original culture in terms of food, habit, and everything. And then only we can progress forward. I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for your support and guidance, which has been with us since long and will be continuing further, I hope so. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. Now, we will be moving towards concluding the session. And on behalf of BLDEA Association, I express my sincere thanks to Mr. Maruo Katsumasa for having spared his valuable time and gracing this function. Thank you, sir. We are always thankful to our President, Dr. Shri M.B. Patil, for his presence, guidance, and support. Thank you, sir. I express my thanks to Shri B.M. Patil, Dr. R.V. Kulkarni, Dr. Mahantesh Biradar, Dr. Atul Aire for their presence and continuous support and guidance. Thank you all. I also thank Mr. Prashant Patil, Program Coordinator, Dr. Geetanjali Patil for their continuous effort in organizing this function. I thank everyone for helping us in organizing this wonderful function. Now, I would like to request everybody to stand up for the national anthems of Japan and India. Thank you. Thank you, one and all. High tea has been arranged for everyone. I request everyone to enjoy it. Thank you. Namaste. Sayonara. Bye-bye. Thank you. Yeah. Can we get back the book which has been passed over to have a look? Yeah, please, sir.